Perfect. Thank you for joining me again, Sally, after our previous nutrition consultation. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Really good. Thanks, Alyssa. Yeah,
That's
I
good.
feel a lot clearer after, everything we discussed, which was good.
Perfect. So obviously we went through where you're up to, what your current food intake looks like, and kind of where we're sitting with each category. So today we're just going to kind of review that as to where that sits with the Australian Dietary Guidelines. We're going to go through discretionary food choices.
Hmm.
Don't mind me, I'm just looking at what you had written down so that I'm just refreshing myself with the notes. So your discretionary food choices, what we can do there in terms of supporting you and your well-being. Um, Whether or not you've got, oh, we'll kind of put into place some substitutes to kind of really get you on the right track, and things that you can start actioning and implementing straight away. As well as addressing any concerns that you may have, because obviously, it's easy for me to say these things, but it's a lot harder to put them into practice. So, we'll address any concerns that you may have, and then kind of close off with, any last questions. So, how does that sound?
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Thank you.
Excellent. Perfect. So let's jump into it. So your current servings, so with your vegetables, you're currently having three vegetable servings per day, with the foundation diet recommendations being five serves per day. So we've got a little bit of a gap there of two serves that we could increase. With your fruit, you've got one to two, depending on what the season is. And look, our recommendation is two, so I'm happy that we're fairly on track there. Obviously, that's not consistently every day, but we're aware of that, and that kind of varies. Grains, we've got four servings per day, with the recommendation being six. So again, another little bit of a gap there. Um, your dairy, three serves per day, and recommendation is two and a half. So slightly over, but again, fairly close to where we want to be. Not a huge gap. And lastly, we've got lean meats. So with the lean meats, you're currently having five serves a day, which is actually double what the recommendation is of two and a half. So a little bit over there with some gaps where we're a little bit under. So meat and dairy being the ones that we're potentially over consuming on, and vegetables, grains, and fruit potentially being the ones that we're under consuming. So, what we're going to do is just kind of have a little bit of a discussion around that. With your discretionary foods, we're sitting at about 17 serves per week. Of your discretionary foods. So, obviously, discretionary foods can have quite a significant impact on your health. Um, and we want to reduce that intake, with the foods being quite heavy in like saturated fats and sugar and things like that, which overall for our well-being can have quite a lot of effects, not only for not only just health and fat, but also for different conditions and diseases. They can have quite a significant impact there as well. So that's that one. Now, in terms of obviously making sure that we can kind of meet the recommendations and get your nutrition back on track, um, we will just kind of go through some different options, I guess, and brainstorm how we can kind of do that. So, I guess do you have any thoughts of how you'd like to adjust that before I kind of jump into too much?
Yeah, I was initially thinking like be able to cut out the crackers that I was having like in the afternoon.
Yep.
And if I just switch that with the wrap and salad, because that would increase like one serve of grains and then one serve of like the salads and that.
Vegetables, yep.
Um, yeah, and then as we were talking to, like I was just thinking, yeah, minimizing the meat and increasing like the vegetables of a night time too. That might be able to,
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, make a bit of a
absolutely. And
difference
that's
there.
definitely the path that I'd be going down. So obviously, if we're kind of eliminating them crackers, we don't want to just be eliminating them altogether. If you've got hunger cues that are kind of coming on, then we want to make sure that obviously we're still fueling your body as you need. And I think it's a great opportunity to substitute that for a wrap. which
Yep.
then obviously increases your grains and your vegetables to an
Mm.
additional serving. Probably just being mindful there, like keeping it just as a salad wrap. We don't want to kind of keep increasing your lean meats too far. Otherwise, we're going to be significantly beyond that, the recommendation for the Australian Dietary Guideline.
Yep.
Um, how does that sound? Like you'd be happy just having a salad wrap and substituting that for your crackers?
Yeah, no, I think that that would be easy and it's probably actually going to be more satisfying for me at the time anyway, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably find that it will keep you fuller for a lot longer. And then, yeah, like you said, in terms of your lean meats overnight, obviously we kind of discussed that, we may be having a couple of serves with dinner, for your lean meats rather than one
Mm.
serve. So whether or not, yeah, we can substitute that for some vegetables, or some salad and just actually increasing that and kind of decreasing the meat. And again, have it for lunch tomorrow, the next day. But yeah, how does that sound for you?
Yeah, no, that sounds, I feel like that would be relatively, yeah, easy to shift. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, obviously, like I mentioned before, it's not only with the discretionary food choices, it's overall our nutrition and how we look after that that will impact our well-being altogether. So making sure that, we're monitoring that, reducing the discretionary food choices, but staying as close as we can to obviously the recommendation. Without, obviously we've got that dairy intolerance, but other than that, there's no other allergies or anything like that that we need to be mindful of. So just making sure that we kind of stick to that to ensure that, yeah, we're not putting you at risk of, any diseases or conditions. We want to keep you healthy and fit and strong. So, um, now we've kind of got them couple of things in place. Do you have, I guess, any concerns that this may fall apart or it may not work for you?
I think probably the biggest thing is just like when I'm tired and hungry, I tend to go for just like whatever's quick and easy. And that's probably what I've been doing with the crackers as well. Like they're just simple. I just grab them out of the cupboard. I don't have to make anything or do anything there.
Yeah.
But also probably like more so with the chocolate and that of the night time, is more like, yeah, when I'm feeling tired and just like wanting that, something sweet. Yeah, so yeah.
Excellent, perfect. And look, that is a completely normal concern. I'm definitely guilty of it at times. We go for the easiest thing that we can grab when we're hungry and we're tired. We don't want to have to think about food nor make a decision on what we're going to eat, other than we know that we want the crackers, so we're going to go for the crackers. So a couple of things that we can put in place to make sure that we're sticking to that. Um, how do you feel about meal prep? Do you usually prep food the night before, like your lunches, or you normally just kind of grab them on the go?
Normally just grab them on the go, to be honest. Like, yeah, I'll make my lunch like generally to take to work or whatever, like the following, like in the morning.
Yep,
But yeah, apart from that, I generally just kind of eat on the go. Yeah.
yep. Rightio. So I guess one of the first things that we can introduce is uh actually meal prepping. So when you're meal prepping your lunch, just make up that extra salad wrap. So it's ready to go and all you've got to do is literally grab it and
Yeah.
eat it. Same as the crackers. And so that might just provide you, I guess, a little bit more certainty and that you can kind of stick to it.
Yeah.
But also so that, when that time comes, you're not having to make that decision. Another kind of thing that we could look at is obviously reducing the amount of like crackers or discretionary food that you have available. So limit the ice cream. Look, at the end of the day, would begin reducing that. Cutting it out, you're probably going to have a lot of cravings very quickly. So, reducing that down and kind of going, okay, well, if I can't have it in the house because then I'm going to eat it, well, then we look at, don't buy it, don't have it in the pantry.
Mm.
But if it's something where we're kind of substituting, but you can still have every now and then, just limit the amount that you buy. And that way, then you kind of, oh, okay, well, I do my weekly grocery shop. I'll buy one box of crackers instead of two or three boxes of crackers.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, this has to last me 7 days. So you might, you're kind of consciously aware, and pull yourself up on that a little bit quicker as well if you do find yourself falling back into that habit. How does that
Sounds good.
sound?
Yeah. No, that sounds good.
Excellent. Perfect. Any other concerns, questions?
I don't think so. It was more just the, yeah, feeling tired and hungry and needing something quick to eat.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect.
but but yeah, no, all of the rest of it, yeah, that feels pretty doable. And I can let you know like any other concerns in our next checkup as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that's probably something, again, my next talking topic is going forward, in terms of, managing this and staying on top of it. Is accountability something that's important to you where we do have regular check-ins in terms of your nutrition consult just like we do with obviously your training plan? Like, is that something that you'd want to incorporate into that?
Yeah, definitely. I think at least for the first month or couple of months, just
Yeah.
until like I feel like I'm really on track with it, I think that that could be really helpful because it definitely has been an area that can kind of derail me at times, or like I'm working out and I'm doing the exercise, but then kind of unraveling it, yeah, just through,
With the
yeah,
nutrition.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, what we can do, Sally, is we can absolutely look at would you be comfortable, I guess, doing both check-ins together that we can just have them following one after another, and that way then it's a block session for you.
yeah. No, that sounds great.
Excellent. So let's book that in going forward. And then yeah, obviously we've got that your training plan and your nutrition. And then we can start to, have that work hand in hand together.
Amazing. Sounds good.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Sal.
No worries.